The Tao of Self-Confidence, Episode 9. Welcome to the Tao of Self-Confidence, where I share stories of amazing women finding their inner journey to self-confidence 5 days a week. Get your free audiobook by visiting thetaoofselfconfidence.com. Well, hello, friend. Welcome to the Tao of Self-Confidence, where I share stories of amazing women who have discovered their inner journey to self-confidence. I'm your host today, Sheena Yap-Chan, and today's guest, I really wanted her to come on today's episode because just a couple of days ago, she just recently quit her job so she can work full-time online, helping people learn how to build a business through the internet. And I met her in Vegas about a couple months ago, and she's just the nicest person you'll ever meet. And I'm sure she's gone through so many obstacles just to get to where she is now. And sometimes when you see people's success, you just see the story, but you hear the glory, but you never hear the story of what they had to go through to get to where they are now. So I'm going to introduce you to Chiara Francica. She's from Malta, and I'm going to pass it along to her. So Chiara, maybe you can fill in the blanks a little bit about yourself to the listeners.
Hi everyone, yes, my name is Chiara Francica. Hope you're all doing well. So I come from a very tiny island. Probably many of you have not even heard of it. The name is Malta, and it's a tiny island situated in the Mediterranean Sea, but I'm pretty much an average person with an average life. So I had normal parents, and I was never broke or living on the streets or anything of the sort. I had a normal educational background. I went to university, and I decided to specialize in HR. So what happened was, when I was doing HR, I just realized that there was something better in life than just sitting in an office job, working for other people, and literally exercising modern slavery, because that's exactly what it was, modern slavery. So working on other people's dreams and being underpaid and never living the life I wanted to live because my salary never stretched, my vacation leave wasn't flexible. I got to a point where I decided it was time to, up my game in life and take control of my life and start doing the things that I wanted to do. So that's how I got to where I am today, basically.
That is awesome. And I know how you feel, right? Sometimes you're sitting away on your cubicle or your desk and you kind of just look at the wall and you're like, what am I doing, right? Is this all there is to life? Like just me sitting here from 9 to 5 every Monday to Friday? I mean, I'm sure you felt that way too, right, Chiara?
Yeah, actually it was worse than that. I kid you not. Every Monday I was sick in the stomach. In my last job, I would walk in with this, just feeling sick every morning because I knew I was going to be hounded by my boss with things to do and many projects which I just couldn't handle all at the same time, just because they knew that I was willing to stay in the office later hours without getting paid for overtime just to keep up with my work, because there was always that ambition in me, which you could tell I had that ambition, anyone could tell easily. So yeah, it's not just the sitting down, it's being taken advantage of and being unhappy, going to work feeling unhappy every day. So yes, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, I'm sure some of the women who's listening to this, they feel the same way. So I just have some questions for you. What's your cultural background?
In terms of my orientation, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm a Maltese, born and bred. Our roots are a huge mixture, I could say, between Middle Eastern, Italian. We were invaded by many countries, and in fact, you can tell from the language, it's a reflection of the countries we were invaded by. So, but the main roots are Middle Eastern. Yes, we're Catholics here, so that's a huge influence on us as people as well. You will see, if you had to meet Maltese people, you would see that huge Catholic influence on them. I personally don't practice though. So that's my cultural background.
Awesome. What would be your favorite self-confidence quote that you go to?
Okay, it's a very popular one, but I just live by it. It's no pain, no gain. And the reason being is that I apply it to everything in life, not just in business. I apply it to my friendships, to my relationships, and to my fitness goals. Recently, I just started, taking fitness to the next level, Honestly, no pain, no gain. The diet plan is strict. The training is vigorous. So even with business. I had to sacrifice so many things just to be where I am today, and it was all painful, but no pain, no gain. So obviously, in order to gain, I had to go through sacrifice.
Love it. Yes, no pain, no gain is for sure. I mean, if you're not like in fitness, if you're working out and you don't feel any pain, obviously it's not working, right? And I know what it's like because I used to be in a boot camp and it's just rigorous training, but it works, right? It gives you that discipline that you can apply like in every aspect of your life. Chiara, in your own words, how do you define self-confidence?
To me, self-confidence is being very comfortable with your being in every aspect, not just being comfortable with who you are physically, but also mindset-wise. So to me, it's literally all about being comfortable with myself and loving myself more as well as a person, because I was like, if you met the Chiara 18 months ago, there wasn't any of that. Like I didn't love myself. I was very negative and I was always complaining about things related to me. But today, honestly, that's something I've learned how to do. Just love myself. That's my definition of it.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing that. So what was your life like before you realized, your discovery of self-confidence?
So before, as I mentioned, I was such a different person. Like people would not recognize me. Like people who met me 18 months ago and who will meet me today, honestly, the only thing that would help them recognize me is my physical features. But before I was kind of not an introvert, but I complained all the time. I was never happy. I would literally drag the people around me. I would drag them down because I would complain so much. I was a very unhappy person. I would easily influence the people around me. So I was one of those naggers. So yeah, that was the person I was before. So major difference to today.
Thanks. And some people don't realize when they complain, like it attracts the wrong things into your life. And we've all been there. I used to complain a lot too, right? I mean, I'd complain like I hate my job. Why aren't I married yet? And then you ask all these wrong questions and you start attracting the wrong things. And I believe that all the answers are within us. We just have to start asking the right questions. So when was that moment in your life when you realized, what, things have to change? Like, what was your aha moment, knowing that you can start, building a business and just start living the life that you want?
Okay, so my aha moment happened when, before I started to see success and results in my business, I struggled for 14 months. I didn't know what I was doing. I was all over the place. I had little to no results. I had a huge minus in my bank account. Then I realized it was not knowing what to do. It was what was missing was having proper mentorship. And that was my aha moment. And the minute I invested in a mentor, my business just changed overnight. And now I apply to everything in life. If I want something in life, I look for guidance. And like, for example, I'll give fitness again as an example because it's a perfect example. So I decided I want to change the way I look. So I found a trainer who has, the body and the mindset that I like, even personality-wise. I made sure that I resonated with her. And honestly, I look at training and fitness in a much more different angle now because I'm working with someone that I like and knows what I want because she has it already. The same with my business. That was when I had my aha moment. It was when I found the people who had the lifestyle I wanted, who also cared about my success. I resonated with us personalities, and when I started working closely with them, things just changed for me. So that was when I realized, that was my aha moment, when I realized I needed someone to literally handhold me and tell me what I needed to do. Because the drive was there, the motivation was there, the burning desire was there. I just needed proper guidance.
Thank you so much for sharing with that. And it's true, right? The people you surround yourselves with is so important, right? When you have a mentor who cares for you, and I've met your mentor, and he's a great person, and I know you guys have been just rocking it, helping people out there, just living the life that they want. And sometimes maybe you need to kind of like separate yourself from the people who are so negative, right? Because that really affects your mindset. It affects how you live life. And like Ara just decided, I need to situate myself with good people so that I can get the life that I want, I can start living the life that I want. And I mean, what's your life like now? I know I've seen them on Facebook. I mean, you're just living life, right?
Yeah, I mean, I quit my job. My friends are, different people. I don't hang out with local people anymore. I can't wait to go to the Caribbean with my mentor, and we're going to work alongside together. And, we're going to have people visit us, but people who have the same mindset as us and people who want the same lifestyle as us. Things are a lot much different. I'm surrounded by different people because I chose to be surrounded by different people. And I can afford to travel, and it's a huge, major difference. A lot of people say money doesn't make you happy, but I don't believe that. Money is the vehicle to what we want. It will actually, we can use money to make the people we love happier, right? So life's looking a lot much different these days.
I like how you said, money is a vehicle to get you to those things, because I hate when people say money can't buy you happiness. I'm like, well, money may not buy you happiness, but it can buy away a lot of sadness, right? We see so many people in our world today just living on debt, living on loans, and it's just, deteriorating their lives, right? They don't realize when, they can't make the payments, the banks take their stuff, right? Whether it's a house, a car, or whatever's inside, whatever properties they have, that can be taken away in an instant when you can't make those payments. So I'm glad you said that, right? Like, money is that vehicle to help us live the life that we want. And, as much as you may think it's not, it is, right? We just have to learn how to, have money work for us versus the other way around, kind of like what you're doing now, right? So
exactly.
If there's one tip you want to give to a woman who's listening to this episode about their journey to self-confidence, what would it be?
I think the first tip I would give is to develop mindset, because once you develop your mind, you're capable of doing anything. If you can stretch your mindset, you can really obtain what you want in life. And a mindset that you control and not that other people control. When I learned how to develop my mind and block anything that would crush my dreams or stop me from getting what I wanted, that was when it was game over. Like, I was really on top of my game. So I would really recommend to women, develop your mind, listen to audio clips, listen to people like Anthony Robbins, people who are going to empower you from within to unleash that potential. Because once you have the mindset right, you can do anything. Honestly, even in business, if generating leads and sales conversions, that's quite simple actually, but people keep getting it wrong. They keep getting something simple so wrong just because their mindset is in the wrong place. So once you get mindset right, you can do anything.
Mindset is important, right? People in business don't realize how mindset is really 80% of the work and the strategy is 20%, right? They got the 80-20 rule. And I'm sure you do this mindset training every single day, right? You don't skip a beat, you don't skip a day, you do it daily, like taking a bath, right? Because if you kind of fall off, it stinks. Your mind starts to stink, right? You start then bringing in all those negative things again. So, it's trying to say you do this daily, right? The mindset training.
If not daily, almost every day, because obviously when I was working a job, it was very hard to keep up with everything. But instead of listening to music, I would listen to mindset training. But now that I'm doing it full time, I'm actually I'm doing mindset training every day, at least 30 minutes to 1 hour, because it's really everything. And because honestly, if you can empower your mind before you start working, everything is just, more quality than it would be had you not to do the mindset training.
Awesome. That's great. So thanks for coming by to taking your time to share your story with us. I really wanted you to come on here because your story was really amazing. Just seeing you coming from nothing, right? You didn't have no clue what you were doing until now you get to live the life that you want. And I think you're going to Aruba, right? That's your next destination.
Yeah, well, on the 18th, we're off to Aruba in the Caribbean, so that's going to be exciting.
That is amazing. So if anyone wanted to contact you or wanted to ask you about some things in your business and what you do, where can they contact you?
Since I use Facebook to market my business, and it's where I share a lot of inspirational content, value tips, which can help people in their business, I would highly recommend people actually add me as a friend on Facebook.
The listeners can head over to the website and search for Chiara's name. If you want to spell it, her name is Chiara. So you can head over to the Tao of Self-Confidence and search for Chiara's name, which is Chiara. Her show notes will pop up along with everything else we talked about, and her links will be there. Her link to her Facebook will be there, so you can add her as a friend. You can send her a chat and say, hey, I heard your story on the podcast and I was really inspired by your story, and I just wanted to know a little bit more about you and what you do. And again, thanks for sharing your journey with us, Chiara. It was really great to have you. I mean, I would love to have you back again if you're okay with that, and I'm sure the listeners would love that too.
My pleasure. It was great to meet you in Vegas, and a pleasure to be on this podcast.
Tune in to another new episode of the Tao of Self-Confidence, and we will catch you later. Bye for now.
Bye.
Thank you for tuning in to another amazing episode of the Tao of Self-Confidence. Subscribe to the Tao of Self-Confidence on iTunes and Stitcher to hear more stories of amazing women finding their inner journey to self-confidence.